Hi, I'm Jason Thompson for the Hollywood Times, and tonight I'm at the Royal Palms in Cathedral City, which is basically next to Palm Springs. And tonight I'm with a fun girl that I met last night. I was doing Dame Edna here for an event, and we had a photo. And tonight, one of the guests that came out and did my dance off was a lovely lady called Debi Storm, who is, here's a lovely photo of her. She is one of the stars who performed in the Brady Bunch. It was a whole TV show called Molly Weber, and she was the girl in the whole show. It was the whole devoted program, wasn't it? How are you? Thank you for coming on this show.
Oh, thank you for having me. And first I want to start by saying we so appreciate you coming out for the party this weekend, and it was an honor and a pleasure, and I loved dancing with you.
It was so much fun, and I'm sorry you didn't win. You got the bop-bow, didn't you?
The bop-bow.
We had something like game show sounds for the people that didn't win. Bop-bow, you got the bop-bow, but anyway, you're a winner on this show. Like, tell us a little bit about this show, Debbie.
For some reason, this one episode was really important back in that time. All girls 13 to 15 are very at an awkward stage in their life, and Molly was a very awkward, plain, shy girl, and Marsha decides to befriend her, and so she does, and in doing so she starts to make her over via My Fair Lady. And so she gets new hair, and she learns how to sit up properly, and Marsha says chest out, and she looks down, she said it is out. But in the transformation, she becomes a little bit too snotty, and
She got too big for her boots.
Too big for her britches, and she becomes quite the little snot. Good news is, at the end of the show, she turns herself around, and she decides that she wasn't very nice, and they end up going as co-hostesses together.
And they became friends.
But for some reason, it really hooked on to a lot of girls, because a lot of women remember the show.
Now, the show was back in 1972. Now, this is one of the original scripts from the Brady Bunch. This is fantastic. So, it actually was filmed in 1972, that episode.
It was. I was 13.
And what was the name of the episode again? Molly?
My Fair Opponent was the name of the show, and I was Molly Weber.
Molly Weber. Well, that's a fantastic story. Now, I know there is a lot of girls out there today, not only girls, but boys, that there's a lot of, with the social media and body imaging and Photoshopped, and it's so much pressure out there today, so nothing's really changed. There's young teenagers that are going through puberty and so forth with their body and stuff.
I think it's even gotten more extreme than it was then, but it's
too much pressure today, because you've got to get the likes, how many likes you're getting, how many followers you're getting.
And we have certain people that are supposedly the image to follow, when in fact that image is not who I am.
Exactly.
And beauty isn't here, because you know as well as I do that we can just put makeup on and have correct lighting and everything and be a lot more attractive than we normally are, because this is not how I look in the morning.
Nor do I.
Yeah, but there is a big stigma on what you look like, and for people in the industry at my age, it's you don't want to have any wrinkles on your face. Well, I earned every one of these wrinkles, and I'm proud of them, and I'm not ready to go have Botox and everything in my face. So.
Well, Debbie, you're still looking beautiful. And I was watching the show today just to get a bit of research. It's such a fun little episode, and I can see you today still in her, and it was so much fun looking at that episode, and it was great. And I'm sure it really would have been a big episode back then, with all the situation of the times back then with girls and what they were going through. So nothing's changed. So here we are talking to the famous Molly Weber from the Brady Bunch.
I think the other thing that I wanted to mention is that the show also is about kindness, and we're lacking in that in our world today.
Absolutely.
And my feeling and what my biggest wish for everybody is, it doesn't matter whether you're gay or you're straight or you're black or you're green or you're white or you're Republican or Democrat. Love each other.
Exactly.
and learn how to live together and get along.
Exactly.
And that's what we've been talking about. Paul McCartney sang about it. Imagine
I was only thinking about that song this week, and I was singing it to someone about that. Imagine there's no religions. Imagine, where they share the wealth on the planet. That's one of the lines in the song.
It just seems so simple to me.
It is so simple.
I know.
But common sense is now uncommon today, so
That's
we
right.
have to raise the awareness. And
That's right.
back then doing shows like then, the producers of the show must have thought, wow, let's do an episode about, look at Molly there, look at Molly today. But it's, they must have thought, let's do a show about that, because there must have been an issue back then. I think the issues increased incredibly.
Absolutely.
Because we didn't have all the, how many likes are you getting, like how many, Molly didn't get how many likes,
no, she did
I've only
not.
got 25 likes. It was
That's
just the likes from school. But today, actually, people have got this hardcore black and white evidence. I've only got 10 likes, and they must feel inadequate. So it's so much more pressure out there
and
today.
I think what's important, Jason, is that yes, it was important to have that certain look back then. And Molly was a really clumsy, ugly, plain Jane girl and had issues. Whereas my daughter, who happens to be so beautiful, she had problems because she was so beautiful. So it doesn't matter one way or the other. There's always something. Or you don't have the right tennis shoes, or you don't have the right clothing. And it's just so important for us to be teaching our kids and each other, which is one thing that you mentioned, Royal Palms. I am the luckiest woman in the world to live in this community where we all build each other up, and we are all wonderful to each other, and we just can be who we are, and it's great.
Your vibe is your tribe, and
That's
since
it.
I've been here this week, and because after I did the gig, I've stayed here for a couple of days with my friends who hired me to do the gig, Frank and Michael. That's right. Who we did a big, huge event. He had his retirement, his retirement party. But I just love the vibe here. And this morning when I woke up and I had to film you doing your aerobics, we've got a clip of that right now.
Great.
4, 3, 2, and relax.
Well, there you were. Look at that. You can even do, what is it, pool swimming aerobics or something?
Water aerobics.
Water aerobics.
Yes. That's because we're older and we all have bad knees.
Well, it's great to see people. I thought, my God, I might retire here. It seems like
I
it's
hope
such
so.
imagine that. But it just felt so nice to be around with some beautiful people here. And I've had an absolute ball, and just meeting you too, even though you didn't win the dance off. But hey, if I knew you now, I might have rigged it.
You got some moves, kid.
Well, we'll probably show some of the. Let's have a look at some of that from last night. Well, there you go. See, even that's funny. Like me dancing as Dame Edna here at the Royal Palms. Anyway, well, thank you for thank you for being on my show.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's been so much fun having you here
pleasure.
tonight, and it's so quirky. So there's all those Brady Bunch fans out there. Go and look at the episode. It's fun. And what is it called again? The episode?
It's called My Fair Opponent, Molly Weber.
Molly Weber.
And I do have one last thing. I have a gift for you.
Oh, let's have a look what this is. I mean, I got a friend in Molly. I got a friend in Molly. Look, I got a gift from Molly.
Last night when he was doing Dame
It doesn't matter it doesn't make any difference how I got here. The point is I arrived. Now that's the famous line in the picture.
Line.
Can you say it one more time?
I can, and I
Go to camera.
Jason, it doesn't make any difference how I got here. The point is, you've arrived.
I've arrived. Well, thank you, darling. Thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you for making the world a better place.
Thank you.
Cheerio.
Thank you.